Good morning, everybody. I'm Coach Eddie Pushkarich from the Dallas Sidekicks here on the Dallas Sidekicks podcast. Our guest today is Jamie Lovegrove, probably the face of the organization. Actually, a good friend of mine as well, too. Good morning there, Chief.
How are you, boss?
I'm doing well. A bit cold today, huh?
It's freezing out there. My goodness.
It's good for you. It's English weather, right?
Yeah, that's why I moved here, to get away from it. I didn't want to be when it's this cold. No, it's nice, though. It's nice.
Good. So preseason starts Wednesday?
Yeah.
How you feeling so far?
Good.
Yeah.
Feel really good. Feel probably the best I've felt for a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're running the sessions and we've got some good running going on. And I think one of the biggest things that I liked so far is the overall discipline of what we have between the boys.
You know me, I'm big on discipline,
sure.
buddy.
And it's small things, right? Like making sure the door's locked at 8 o'clock. You're late. This is a opportunity for some of these younger guys to experience what we've experienced in the past, and it's got to start with discipline. It's got to start with professionalism, and right now I'm loving it. Yeah, honestly,
I think most of the guys are as well too. Yeah, it's been it's different for the boys, which it needs nothing against the old regime, but. There's a new sheriff in town, and we carry a big stick sometimes. Sure. I mean, locking the door at 7 o'clock and having the guys.
But the best thing about locking the door is having Danny do it. So then no one can respond to Danny.
That's true. So expectations for this year, buddy? Obviously, we had a rough year last year, 1-23.
Yeah, I think it's never going to get off of... personally, it's never gonna get off our back, right? You're always going to be talking about last year, and you're always going to be comparing it from last year's perspective to this year's perspective. I think the biggest thing for me personally is I want to win as many games as I can, and that sets your standard, right? You win as many games as you can, then you can begin to have the conversation of playoffs. Then you can even have the wild conversation of even bringing the championship home eventually. So I think, I'm going in mindset-wise is that we got to win as many games as we can. First things first, obviously, we got to be competitive. Last year, I think there were some games where we let ourselves down. Again, you spoke about the old regime, and I had a good relationship with the coaching staff last year, and Ricky's a very, very good friend of mine, and there was times where I was telling him I feel like I'm letting him down. And that's obviously not the perspective we want this year. We want to go in, we want to win, and we want to compete, and we want to make, most importantly, Allen the hardest place to come and play in.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
My words are fortress. It's got to be a fortress at home.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
It has to be.
So, and obviously the schedule makers had us going to Monteray. First game. So you think Monterey's a little hungry for us, and 1-23 last year. They're probably like, hey, this is the Dallas Sidekicks on their homecoming schedule. So I'm excited to go to Monteray.
Yeah, I think, anytime you play, you got to play everybody, right? I mean, to win games.
I don't care who we play, Jamie.
Exactly.
I don't care where we play. Yeah.
I've always enjoyed playing Monteray. I really have. Because, previous times we've always been close. There's always been games where it's been close enough. And then unfortunately, one reason or another, it gets away from us, but let's go down there and let's play. Let's do it.
Yeah. I think it's important. It's a chance for us to bond right away as well too. I'm also big on bonding, and you can tell from our staff. I mean, talk about our staff for a little bit, buddy, if you don't mind.
Listen, the group that you've got together. Obviously, I was lucky enough to play with Kylie when we came into the Sidekicks.
So Kylie Couch, assistant coach.
Yeah, was very, very lucky to play with him and had a good relationship with him over the last 10 years now, 10, 11 years since we first started playing together. And his experience, obviously, we bump head to head every now and then because he's defend first. And obviously I don't love defending. I'll do it. But, he's really good at getting his point across. Obviously, Terry shares a wealth of experience in this league.
Terry Woodbury, Sidekicks legend.
Yep.
I played against Terry for you. I kicked the snot out of Terry when I could catch him. Man, he was a good player. So.
Yeah, and even his experiences and what he tells us and things that he sees is always helpful. I was lucky enough to play with his son, London. London came and played a couple of games with the Sidekicks.
His nephew, by the way. He always fixes that.
Yes.
Always fixes that. Don't forget.
Nephew, yeah. And then obviously Kevin's been around.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple of times that
Kevin Leonard's probably coached most of the guys in this area.
Yeah, with Extreme, right? Texas Extreme. Yeah, so, and then obviously how you got this guy involved. Boschko, the goalkeeper coach, I mean, that guy is an absolute lunatic, isn't he? But good guy.
Most goalkeepers are.
Most goalkeepers are, yeah.
So, and we've got some good young keepers in camp as well, too. We have 5 right now. Five for that
keepers.
number 1 spot. So, and speaking of that, we've got players coming from everywhere. We had a good draft last weekend at the Combine. We got 5 players. Made a trade. Bring your boy back, Nestor Hernandez.
Yes,
I'm going to give myself a little credit for that trade.
Yeah.
So he's excited to come back.
Yeah, he is. And look, everyone knows my relationship with Nestor. We're still very, very, very good friends. He's in my wedding and stuff like that.
I know that. Yeah,
we go a long, long way back, and we jokingly were talking about it yesterday on the phone. If we can rekindle some of the stuff that we were doing, mid 6-7 years ago, hopefully, we can start putting some results together, and you'll get to know Ness a lot better than we all do. And he's team first. Even yesterday, he's like, I don't care if you score. I don't care if this person scores. We're winning games, and he's coming with the right attitude. And and everybody knows I love my buddy Ness.
That's my mantra as well too. It's team first. It's not about me, it's about us.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how we're going to be successful. We have 24 games, man, and nobody expects anything from us, which is perfect for me.
Yeah.
And after a few games, they'll know we're going to outwork every team. We'll be fit. Obviously, Kylie's probably fitter than half the guys, maybe 9/10 of the guys in camp right now. We'll be fit. I can promise you that. So, and a little bit of extra gumption, I think, from the guys. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have that die attitude. You die for your teammates.
Well, I think the thing, my perspective on it right now is that I feel like we've got players that know their role.
Yeah,
that's it. They know this is what I'm here to do. I'm going to do that to the best of my ability. And I mean, even go back to the kick around last week. There was a moment where Deshaun could have taken off, and good player, by the way, Deshaun.
Yeah, he's done well, hasn't he? Got from our combine. But I got about 4 or 5 guys that have a legitimate chance of making our roster from our local combine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of local talent in Dallas,
Yeah, and I mean, there was a moment in training, like he got the ball, took off, and immediately felt like that was, he couldn't go to goal and passed it to someone. And I think we ended up scoring. And again, I've unfortunately been in this game a long time now. And I know that all the teams that I've played on, if you have players that understand their responsibilities, you've got a chance in every single game.
That's the role of our coach, us as coaches. We got to make sure that it's about putting the right guys together.
Yep.
I'm big about partners.
Yep.
So if Jamie Lovegrove plays well with Nestor Hernandez on the same lines, we can kind of boom, boom. Or maybe Jamie and Nestor change together.
Yeah.
It's about finding the right partners, feeding each other. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All about being selfish. I mean, indoor is about knowing when to change and knowing how to change as well too.
Yeah.
You're talking about a minute 10 shifts.
100%.
You got to know when to change with the ball, with not in dangerous situations against you and things of that nature. And that's why the fitness so important. Outdoor fitness, you're playing 90 minutes, a lot of aerobic, fitness. Yeah. Indoor, it's a lot of anaerobic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I need you guys. You're not going to like us a lot sometimes, but hey,
I don't mind.
We got to get after it, And I got to be honest with you, we've had kick arounds for the last 6-7 weeks now, twice a week. Mm-hmm. It's been brilliant.
Yeah, it's been
really good.
Yeah.
Some young guys coming in, and some of the old guys trying to come back to try and fit in, and some guys came out. It's not what I'm used to and can't handle the snuff, and it's okay.
Yeah, I think you alluded to it there, right? Is that your line partner is your biggest relationship.
Huge.
You've got to understand when, and I think if I go back and remember correctly, me and Ness were in the same line or on at the same time on power plays and stuff like that. But there was always, I knew, in between us, there was a moment where I knew if I got out now, he was going to score.
Yeah.
And it was just that line change and that belief in each other. And I think, we've seen it very early on with the group right now, is that there's an element of trust, there's an element of belief in each other's ability to say, hey, you know what? I don't have to be the star of the show now. I'll get it when it's my time, and I'll step up and I'll prove what we can do. So I'm really enjoying what we have right now.
That's also going to go with how we're going to play. We're going to look first. We got a young keeper in town who's got a cannon of an arm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so we're going to look to break early and often. A little bit like the Lakers in the Showtime days back in the past when I actually played in LA. I'm aging myself now, but we're gonna fast break attacks. I mean, he's got an arm like a cannon, so we can get the ball. And your first look is long, and we get down there. And if we lose the ball, we lose the ball in the attacking
area.
third
Yeah,
of
for
field,
sure.
which is not going to cost us. Last year, a lot of giveaways in the back, led right to goals. You know what I'm saying? So just a little change of philosophies and a little change of personnel, but a big change in, I think, desire and attitude and effort, and just die for each other, you know?
After it, we got to. For sure.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah. It's good fun, man. It's good.
Yeah, it is fun. That's the most important thing, by the way.
Yeah.
Got to have fun. I mean, yeah, some guys are making a decent amount of money in this sport, but at the same time, you got a family, you're coaching in the Dallas area and stuff like that. You got to enjoy what you're doing, Jamie.
Yeah, it was.
It's tough going 8:00 in the morning practices in this kind of weather.
Yeah,
but you got to enjoy being there.
Yeah, it's tough waking up at 6:30, having everybody ready.
So my career was 19 years. 13 of that was indoor.
Yeah,
talked to some of my teammates the other day about how it's going and stuff like that. And one of my buddies goes, I got to ask you a question. I said, yeah. He goes, are guys late? And I said, yeah, they push envelope.
Yeah.
He goes, we were never late.
No.
Because we enjoyed the bonding in the locker room beforehand.
Yeah.
So it was like we'd get there for 10 o'clock practice, 9:15, ankles taped, work on your courts and stuff like that, talk to your teammates about what happened yesterday, anything else. It was that desire to be there. We never had to be fined for being late because we were all there.
Yeah, I think I personally, and there's been a couple of times where I've pushed it, but there's an element of it starts Wednesday in some of our minds, I think, and first day of preseason, I have my two little ones at home with me, and they're up at 6:30. We're leaving the house at 7. We're arriving at 7:30. We're going to be there a half an hour before. And I think that now, that's where I look forward to the most, is knowing that there's a day that you're showing up and you're saying, right, this is now when we start. And
punch the clock.
Yeah, that's it. The mindset is that. This weekend we've got, your infamous Def Camp, which everybody I'm sure is buzzing about. But like even it's my daughter's second birthday, and I've yet to even say that because you got training.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no,
But I'm also big on family as well too.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we got Vic Moore had his
little diaper party this weekend.
You call it a diaper party? We call it a baby shower in our country. Diaper party.
It's a diaper party, I think, here, isn't it?
No, it's a baby shower. I've never heard the word. I've never heard the phrase diaper party.
I'm going to check his text message here in a minute, and I'm going to see what it says. The invitation.
He's got twins coming. Next month?
Twin boys, yeah.
Twin
December.
boys.
Yeah, congrats, Mickey, as well.
Wow,
obviously.
Wow, brilliant. Mickey played for me.
Yeah, at Spurs. Yeah. Mickey played.
She's a good player, man.
She's a baller.
She is
better than Vic.
Special.
But no, even going back to what you said about the fun side of things and what it means to us is even, I feel like you get anywhere with your teammates and it's always the first conversation is always about your
How's
sport,
the family?
And stuff like that, and your family. And even the other night we was talking to Vic about it and it just was, why are we doing this? And we're doing it because we love it. We're doing it because it's fun. We're doing it. You're waking up at 6:30 without question because you know that you've got the ability.
You're excited. I can't tell you from my standpoint. Obviously, the prep that goes into the season is huge. I got named, I think, in early September, and I'm going 10, 12 hours a day on this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're changing the coach a little bit as well too. I want you guys to we got a full-time trainer this year. You know what I'm saying? With Matthew. Excited about that. Baylor Scott and White's on board. We got new gear at Pro Time, which is looking they're making me look good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we got new gear at Pro Time, and we've got we're gonna have a set practice schedule, 8:00 every day.
Yeah.
Whether it's gonna be at Spectrum, whether it's gonna be at PSA. That way the guys' bodies can get used to it. I'm big about routine.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And so you want to wake up the same time every day and get your nutrition sorted out. And we've got some other things we're trying to finalize, like strength and conditioning coach. And we got a video coach. My buddy Glenn Turvo from Raleigh is going to be our video coach. And we're going to, after a game, Jamie, you play the Dallas Sidekicks versus Monteray. By the time we get back to our digs in Dallas, you'll have a login link and you'll see all your touches in the game. And you'll see all of your set pieces and you'll see our jumps and our shots and our mistakes and our pluses and our minuses, and it'll give you a chance to kind of reflect on some things and evaluate pretty quick. You know what, my shift was too long.
Yeah.
Or you know what, I probably could have gotten the ball to the back post.
Yeah.
Or I could have gotten to the back post. Something you'll hear.
Oh yeah.
10,000 more times. Jerry Woodbury.
Yeah.
Back post. Back post. But it's all a mindset. And it becomes a habit and an expectation. And that's why I think winning games is a habit, buddy.
It is, for
sure. What I'm saying? And losing games is a habit.
Yeah.
And so you got to have the mindset, 20 seconds ago, and we've got a free kick down the attacking zone. Well, guess what? 6 attackers, we're going to go try and score a goal here.
For sure.
We're going to gamble a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Nothing to lose.
No, and I think I'll go back to maybe a podcast that you've done with us before is, everything changes when you win.
Everything
Life at home is
changes.
easier when you win. Your waking up is easier. Eating food tastes better.
Your wife's better looking. Your dog doesn't crap in the house anymore. You get better gas mileage when you're winning.
100%.
It's
Everything
amazing.
changes. No, yeah.
And then when you're losing,
the world,
your car breaks down. The trade rumors run the block and stuff like that. So, it's we have some fun, but we got to win some games. Yeah. That's the bottom line, especially at home.
For sure.
A fortress at the Allen Event Center, which, by the way, December the 9th, I want to get 5,000 fans.
Manageable for sure.
Absolutely. We can do that.
I think so.
You coach in the community. I coach in the community. Yeah. Kylie's in the community. Bosco, Terry, Kevin, all coach in the community. Yeah. Office done a really good job, by the way. Front office, staff's done appearances really and stuff like that. Yeah. So I think there's, to still align as a wave of enthusiasm that I'm really happy to be involved with, and we'll be on that crest and ride it for the next 3 or 4 months. Have some fun. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Fears?
Not many.
Yeah?
Don't usually have many.
How old are you now?
33.
How many years been playing?
Just came into the league 22. So this is my 11th season.
You got 8 more years to catch me.
8 more to catch you, and there's no way.
And by the way, a lot of people don't know is you played for me outdoor for a little bit as well too. So had a little fun there as well.
Yeah. So Texas Spurs outdoor team. That was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't. Not really fearful about much. Yeah. If anything, you know, I have ultimate confidence, ultimate belief in what I do, and what I can bring to the group and what I can bring to the team. And if there's ever a moment that I don't feel like that, then it is easily washed away because I try to do some better. Short memory.
Mistakes gotta go. That's what I tell keepers all the time. Gotta have a short memory.
Yeah, and especially in this game too, because you can take one bad touch or hit the boards or whatever. Listen,
I'm gonna tell you something. I said this a little while back as well too. We lose by a goal. We're not losing 2-1. We're losing 9-8.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go down. But I want to get. I want to have 4 goals against or less. Is one of my goals.
That's the target,
for the team.
Right? Yeah.
4 goals against. I'll give them 1 goal a period.
Yeah.
I like to go about 3.5 if we can, less than a goal a period. But I want to organize, close the floodgates, and then open up the spillway and then attack like crazy.
Yeah, you keep the games close, you've always got a chance.
That's entertaining too. We're going to entertain the fans.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we are entertainers, Jamie. Bottom line, we need to entertain. That's
gotta be
the
fun.
bottom line.
It's got to be enjoyable.
You got kids out there, families out there, grandparents out there. Your parents coming over again?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, sister. And
so you're born, I'm sorry, finish your sister what?
Sister and her boyfriend with 2 kids are coming Christmas time too as well, I think. So
we got 2 games in, I think, 23rd and 28th, right?
Yeah. So they'll be here for a couple of weeks, which means my house is going to be even more of a nightmare. So we'll have 4 kids under the age of 3.
But, how old are her kids?
Oh my goodness. Emmy Lou is about to be 1, and Casey May will be 2 next year.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Get the Blues Clues out. What shows your kids watch?
Bluey and Bingo. Bluey, yeah.
So I have a grandson. He'll be 2 in December, which, by the way, he's going to walk out with me on the 9th. My daughter found this show. I think it's Learning with Rachel.
Miss Rachel.
Hey. My grandson is learning sign language. She's not even 2 years old yet. She's brilliant, man.
Do you know how she came about?
No.
Through COVID. She's literally a school teacher that started doing YouTube videos online. My kids watch it. My nieces at home.
My grandson watches it.
Yeah.
I watch it when I was up in Stillwater a couple weeks ago. It's pretty good.
Yeah. She's like sign language in with her hands and
he's at the dinner table. He's doing this more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow, I'm impressed.
Yeah. Yeah. And she is.
My kids, I made my poor kids watch Barney.
Yeah. And she's making a fortune as well, by the way.
Yeah, I bet she is.
Good luck to her. Good luck, Miss Rachel.
So you're born in where?
Crawley, England.
And who did you support growing up?
Chelsea. Always been, always will be.
I think they lost this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah, we did, yeah. Of
course, my boys Liverpool won again.
Yeah.
So who'd you look up to as a youthful player?
David Beckham.
Oh, yeah? Do you see his Netflix?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I was supposed to watch it with the wife, but the wife watched all of it without me because she had a binge and watched it every single episode in one night.
It's a family show. Yeah. Brilliant.
Oh, look, you can talk about his ability as a football player. He changed the game as an England player.
Yeah.
As an English kid, he changed the game for range of passing. You could be a kid that can just literally take free kicks and be a dead ball specialist. And obviously he went to Real Madrid, went to PSG, did AC Milan, did all of that. But growing up, he just was where everybody wanted to be. Yeah. You wanted to be David Beckham.
The show gave you a behind the scenes view of what you don't realize. I mean, I didn't know what he did to go see Victoria.
Yeah.
You know, he'd
drive to London.
He'd rent a plane, spend 2 hours,
and then jump back
for training because the boss
wasn't dedication.
Too happy about it.
But I think even in that you saw a side of Alex Ferguson that not many people, I don't think, recognize either. And your relationship, coach to player,
that was a day tremendous. Back then too. Though I played in that era with the coach. It was a iron fist.
Yeah,
I mean, it was it's changed. I'm big on discipline, as you know, 100%. At the same time, you have to understand that you've got 2 kids at home. There may be a chance when your daughter's going to be sick one day. Hey, I'll be late to practice, or I can't make practice because it's in the other. And as a coach, old Coach Ed would be like, I don't care, be at practice.
Yeah, for sure.
New Coach Ed, take care of your family.
Yeah.
I get it. You're not lying to me. Off you go.
But see, that's where I think, being able to play with the guys that I've played with, being able to play in the groups that I've played with, even have the coaches that I've played for, I'm still going to be at training if my kid's sick because I'm going to find a way to help.
That's the mentality you have.
Right, and that's the mentality that I think is going to be infectious to the group.
And I think that's a challenge I have as a coach with some of the young guys.
Yeah,
because it's a different culture. Let's face it, times have changed outside.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just have to adjust. And Alex Ferguson could not be successful in today's game, in my opinion.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? But what a great show that was. I thought it was brilliant, man.
Yeah, he's, again, like I say, like you talk about his career as a football player, but then you talk about all of it outside, like his charity work that he does with Oxfam and all of the stuff, everything that he does, he just seems to be so good at. Yeah. And even somebody asked me the other day, that was like, why do you wear 32? And that's the only reason why I wear number 32 is because originally, I tried to get 23.
Yeah.
Nicky Stavro obviously was in the team. And then obviously Beckham wore 32 as well. So
and Nicky had 23 because of 23. Beckham.
Yeah. I had 23 until I got a call from the owner back then, which was Ronnie Davis. And he said, bad news for you. You got to change your number. And honestly, I was like, what? Why do I have to change my number? And look, I got a little bit cocky with it because I was a rookie, right? And I was like, no, I'm not changing. And he was like, Jamie, you're going to have to change, buddy. And I was like, nope, not changing. He was like, Nick Stavro is coming back. And I was like, who is Nick Stavro? And then obviously I saw Nicky. And
we all know who Nick Stavro is.
Nicky,
now, shout out to Nicky, boy. Nicky and I spent time in the combine together. He's a lovely human being, by the way.
I love Nicky.
Too.
I love Nicky.
He's a great guy. So when I came to Dallas with the Dallas Burn, Bobby Hammond called me and he goes, hey, what number do you want? I said, number 9. That's where I was in Chicago. And he started laughing. And I go, why is that funny? And he goes, we have Hugo Sanchez, Eddie. I'm like, So I guess the priority goes to Hugo Sanchez,
for sure.
who just coming from Real Madrid. So, but so
how was that? How was playing in the Burn back then?
That's brilliant. Yeah. That first year was a dream come true for me because I turned pro in '84 when the NASL folded.
Yep.
So we had all these indoor players. Or I'm sorry, we had always outdoor players playing indoor. Didn't have an outdoor league.
Yeah,
didn't have nothing. We had the A League, I think, a couple years later. So it was indoor back then was brilliant. I mean, the money back there, the fans we had, and stuff like that. So when the MLS came knocking, I was in Chicago making good money playing indoor and outdoor. Had my own club. I was coaching college, coaching high school. Ran my own league. Had 2 young kids.
Yeah.
And the Burn drafted me. And I had a chance to come back to Dallas, which I'm a native Texan, so it's good to come back home. And it was like, boy, do I come and make the sacrifice in the jump, or do I stay in Chicago? So we decided to come back to Dallas, and that first year, we had 69,000 fans at the Rose Bowl, 59,000 fans at Giant Stadium. Mile High was 50,000. The Cotton Bowl was 45, 50,000. It was absolutely
the Rose Bowl. I don't think I was ever here when the
Pasadena. Yeah. So it's truth be told, I tore my ACL in the last game at the Rose Bowl. 10 minutes, nicest field, by myself, a cut that you make 1,000 times a day, right to left, national TV, knee crumbled. tore it up, 4 operations over 2 years, but that's neither here nor there. But being in that atmosphere with the burn was just it was a dream come true. It was quality, man. Yeah. Absolutely quality. So, and that's what it's funny because indoor has that ability if we get 5,000 fans in the Allen Event Center,
it's insane.
It'll be absolutely a zoo.
Yeah.
And as a player, there's nothing like coming out and the people's going, Jamie. You know what I'm saying? You score a goal and you do your little, what is that, by the way?
JL, Jamie Lovegrove.
Do that to us.
JL.
I didn't know that.
See? There you go. No, fingers. No. That's it. Boom. JL.
You should get a t-shirt for that, dude.
No.
I learned something today.
See, there you go.
I've been calling the games for 2 years. I thought maybe it was some kind of, I don't know.
No, JL. Easy.
Every day. Good for you.
See?
Good for you. Your kids going to learn that yet as well, too?
Listen,
What's your kids' names?
I got four girls total. So Isabella.
4 girls.
Yeah. Isabella, Sophia, and then Antonella and Eliana.
Good Italian names.
Yeah. I don't even know where they came from, but hey,
I have 1 girl, Gianna. Thank gosh I only had 1 girl. Wait till wedding time comes, buddy.
They're not getting married. They've signed contracts already.
I told my daughter she's not dating until she's 28. Yeah. It worked. She didn't get married until she was about, I think she was 28 maybe. Yeah. So it worked out pretty well. So, but good for you.
Yeah.
No boys.
No boys.
I got 1. My son Eddie. Yeah. You may see him once in a while around town.
Still getting him to come out.
Still trying to get him to come
out. Get out, bud. Come on, let's go. But no, yeah. My youngest 2 are with us full time. We share custody of the older 2.
Yeah.
But the younger 2, like this weekend, was really nice for me because down the hallway they picked up a soccer ball and they're just smashing the ball at each other. Which was, again, every dad's dream, I think, is when you're involved in the sport like this. And I promise you, I think every dad says it, there is no pressure on what they want to do. If they want to play football, they can. They want to be a dancer, they can.
Same thing. As long as they're happy.
Exactly.
Happy and healthy.
And I've been very fortunate enough to have them come out on the field with me the last couple of years.
Hey, my son and daughter are on the Cotton Bowl field at the Dallas Burn games. I got posters in my house, and that's just something that is just irreplaceable, you know. And they'll be on the field. You're walking out with them before the game in front of 5,000 fans, and they'll be like, it's awesome. And the good thing about social media and about the phones and stuff, we have records of that stuff these days.
We're gonna keep it forever. It's so easy. But yeah, no.
And you coach girls. You coach girls locally. You coach FC Dallas,
yes, sir. Yep.
Coaching ECNL, doing really well. Kids teams are doing quite well.
Yeah, I've got 2010 ECNL.
Still in any of my coaching words or habits or tactics?
You always do, right? Yeah. I think you always do.
Everything I've done, I've stole from somebody.
For sure.
Everything I've done.
For sure. And along the way, I've got good coaches around me. I got another guy that I've been desperate to try and get out to the Sidekicks, guy called Gareth Evans. Played for Wrexham.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He's
one of my favorite shows on TV. By the way,
he's on it at some point.
Is he?
He clicked it. He knows it where it is. But
brilliant.
He's on it.
Brilliant show.
And then I've got Matt Grubb. Obviously, is my director. Yeah. Very good relationship with him.
Good friend of mine.
Yeah. And then surrounded with Chris Ring.
Yeah.
If you ever get the odd occasion.
Chris used to play for me.
Yes. And Chris used to play for the Sidekicks too. Way back when.
That's right. He did.
And then if you ever get a chance to, obviously Chris Hayden. I think he's wealth of experience and sometimes the girls and the boys will mesh with each other. So you got Adam Wells, you got Toto, who obviously played Sidekicks too. Yeah. There's a whole bunch of knowledge in FC Dallas and I'm lucky enough to still be a part of it. My girls teams are doing pretty well. Obviously your name of the game is to qualify for nationals. Last year we took 6 teams to nationals, which has been a while. The club's done that. Every age group we got there. So the option this year is to do it again. Obviously you go from nationals, I think this year is in Seattle, then your finals is in Virginia. We were in Virginia last year. The club's doing well, the team's doing well. But yeah, I think coaching for me is always about stealing something from somebody along the way. I try to replicate sessions that I've done in my career to even try to implement them. And that's another thing too, you go back to playing and still being able to play, all my teams are coming out to watch the first game of the season.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mine too.
Yeah,
mine too. Yeah,
coach, we're coming. And I'm like,
yeah,
no,
it's
don't
yeah.
because there's gonna be that one thing you do wrong, and then the kid is. And I got these like you say.
Hey, Coach Jamie, you didn't use your back
telling
foot.
Me this. Yeah,
or you hit the ball over the goal.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
I know,
Coach,
I know.
you're slow, and Coach, you're this. And I'm like, okay,
that's okay. Do it from the stands.
Yeah,
I used to coach in corner with the Burn when I was assistant coach here for a while, and I put an article out one time, and I said, you're not going to always like what we do. Yeah. You're going to, have your opinions, but have it from the stands.
Yeah, keep it up.
Don't have it from home.
Yeah.
There's a big thing I always talk about fans.
Or have it on the field with us.
Fans and supporters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
England has supporters. Okay? You're Chelsea. You're a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah.
No matter how bad Chelsea is, no how bad their years like that, you're going to be at the games. 100%. You know what I'm saying? There are fans, like when the Cowboys do well, people jump on the fan wagon and they're blah, blah, blah. But to be a true supporter, you need to be out there. And the Sidekicks, we've got some supporters. Yeah. His friends have been around since 1983. Yeah. I tried out, by the way, with Gordon Jago. I still have a letter. Eddie, didn't have my last name on there. Thanks for your time at the Dallas Sidekicks tryout. Your services will not be needed. Wish you the best of luck, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. So I still have that actually as well too. But you got a franchise been around since 1983.
And I think that's
we have supporters here, and I need to get them. I want the supporters to be in the stand supporting, and then we'll establish fans when we win as well too.
For sure, but you talk about fans and you talk about supporters and stuff like that. And when I first came here, I went to like an FC Dallas LA Galaxy game.
Oh yeah,
and there was LA Galaxy fans sitting next to FC Dallas fans, and it blew my mind.
Crazy,
because you can't tell people what it's like at home.
No.
Like we've had, over my years at college or over my years, Nesta, for example. Chelsea is a big Liverpool fan too.
Oh, there you go.
Big Liverpool fan.
Nesta, well done, boy.
But if Chelsea's playing Liverpool, and this is way back when we were at a town home and we lived together, it was him one side, me the other side, and for 90 minutes, and I hope he says the same thing. We hate each other for 90 minutes. And then after that, it was back to what we do and how we do it. And
my best friend and his two sons are massive Man U supporters. and we disagree
on everything.
On one thing, and it's Man U Liverpool. Mm-hmm. And my son and I are Liverpool, and we have a text thread, and twice a year, we
hammer each other.
Start the text, and no offense, but I don't like you guys for the next 2 hours. Yeah. And the fact that we won 7-0 last season, I rub it in every chance I possibly get. But it's just, it's the culture thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we're trying to establish. We're trying to establish a culture here. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And just have some fun doing it, buddy. You know?
100%.
I mean, it's all about wins and losses, but at the same time, it's about having a culture. So I got to ask this because you're playing for the Sidekicks, and this was a little bit of my career as well too here. You play indoor, you're coaching a lot, and as a soccer coach, our work hours are people's off hours. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? You got 2 little girls, you got a wife at home you got to support and be happy as well too. It's quite a difficult balance, isn't it?
Listen,
she got to support you, man.
She's incredible. She really is. Shout out Christina. No, she's incredible.
There's a reason why I'm divorced.
Yeah. Yeah. No. She does a lot at home to support us.
Good lady, by the way.
And she's incredible. But I think that she shares the same thing that we have. She played a little bit. She was a track star growing up here in Plano. And
Texas girl, huh?
Yeah.
Good boy.
Yeah.
You know where to come home to, right?
Yeah, exactly. But no, she shares the same things. And I think, there's obviously always times that are very hard in relationships, and to do the job that I do, to coach and be gone most weekends and then come back and pick up the slack or be gone or travel schedule, whatever it may be. And just to know that she's at home supporting me is helps me a lot. And I've said it and I'll continue saying it since I was very lucky to have the 2 little ones and obviously still be married. Yeah. They're my biggest inspirations for playing now. To see them up there and to see them on the field, or just even get a FaceTime call. If you're in the hotel away and, let's say it's not gone well, and you check in at home and people just happy to see you, it kind of makes you feel a little bit better, right? Yeah. But yeah, no, she's incredible. School teacher, so we have opposite schedules. So there's times where they're hard.
It takes some effort, man.
Yeah,
it takes some effort.
But we get after it.
And you can tell her and all the Sidekicks' wives and girlfriends, we'll do something for them as well too. I've learned that in my past as well too. My past organizations, they did a good job taking care of our families, because you got to keep a player happy.
Listen, it's a lot easier when the wife is happy.
Hey, a happy player scores goals, and the guy that scores goals will usually win games. So we want to keep it's all part of the family atmosphere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Goes into one.
Always, 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 always. So who else besides Beckham did you like?
Obviously Chelsea players.
So you like Beckham, but you were a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah.
Were you at least a partial Man U supporter?
Nope, absolutely not. England. Anytime he played for England was when you could really get on the bandwagon and celebrate him. But no, I mean, Chelsea always had players. You know, I think
I took my son to a Man U Liverpool game.
Yeah.
At Anfield, and he was 8 years old. We sat in the cop end, and he stood for 2 hours.
Yeah.
With his scarf.
Yeah.
And you could just see the desire and the seed planted.
Yeah.
And it was just. I recommend going to the Bernabeu and seeing a Classico, or or going to some of these games. I went to Italy in 1990 and watched I watched 3 World Cup games. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah. And it's just being exposed to some of these.
Yeah, I mean, I was lucky enough and fortunate enough we still have season tickets at Chelsea. So I had them since I was 3 years old. Yeah. So we went to every game, and obviously people will talk about Chelsea's changing. Obviously, Roman Abramovich was a big part of our change.
He did well.
He did incredibly well, and
he brought him some titles, man.
Managers there, that Jose Mourinho and all those guys, and it never. I had no choice but to support Chelsea. Yeah, like it was no doubt that when I think if I remember correctly, I did try to be an Arsenal fan at one point. Oh yeah, because of Thierry Henry.
Okay.
And I think my dad still holds that to me today. So, but no, when you look at where Chelsea have come from to where they've been now, Gianfranco Zola was a huge Italian boy when we were okay. And then obviously your heroes of the club, John Terry, Frank Lampard, Didier Drogba. And it was really interesting because I was able to be a mascot at Chelsea once.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. And it was Man United. At Stamford Bridge.
Oh, really?
So I got the letter to say you've been selected for this game. Obviously, Chelsea fan, was the only thing I wanted to do was be in the change room with Chelsea and blah, blah, blah. But we were playing United, and Beckham was at United. And I was like, here we go. Brilliant. I'm going to meet my hero.
So did you walk out? And what was it? What's a mascot mean?
So walk out with a captain.
Okay.
So you walk out with a captain. Okay. So you get there same time as the first team players.
Who was the captain back then?
Oh, Chelsea's captain, Marcel Desailly.
Oh, Desailly?
Yeah.
Marcel so you walked out with Marcel Desailly?
Walked out with Desailly. Warm up beforehand, you are on the field with the players.
And how old are you?
Oh, I was 11.
Brilliant.
Maybe.
Brilliant.
And I got pictures of all the players as they're doing their warm up and stuff like that. And I felt like a proper plonker at one point because Marcel Desailly's doing his back four sliding and shifting and stuff like that, and as a mascot you're supposed to be with the captain, and I'm running in between them as they're sliding and shifting. I was like, this is probably not the right thing. And then I jumped on a ball. Manuel Petit was there as well, and we just started literally just 35-yard passes, just backwards and forwards, and he came up to me and was like,
not bad, son.
You're not bad. And I was like, no. And then Beckham didn't play.
Who was England? Who was a Man U captain at the coin toss?
It must have been.
Do you remember?
Oh, it's going to kill me now. It might have been Scholesy. Van Nistelrooy was in the team. It might have been Scholesy. I don't think Roy Keane was there. Could have been Edwin van der Sar too, one of those guys. But I'm telling you, biggest man I've ever seen in my life was Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy.
Oh my goodness.
He's huge. Dutch boy.
Unit. Yeah.
Another good goal scorer there too.
For sure.
You don't remember who referee was, do you, by chance?
Oh, no.
No. Reason why I asked that is because Howard Webb and I are good friends.
Yes.
and he's a legendary English referee. What's that? You have to do that.
Dig out the picture and see who it was.
Actually, Howard, I don't know if you know, I still do the VAR in MLS now for 7 years. Howard got me involved in that.
Yeah.
I had a game last night. I did Kansas City and St. Louis in the MLS playoffs. 4-1 in St. Louis. Kansas City wins 1-8. Just shocked St. Louis.
That's it though, right? That's football.
That's the culture that we have in our country. You guys had the table.
Yeah.
And we had the playoff scenario. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And my friends in Europe and Sweden has the same. What's playoffs mean?
I can't get my head around it. I really can't.
You can have an average season.
Yeah. Finish eighth.
Finish eighth, and you can still win the league.
The league. Yes. No.
Yeah, and I like it because
you're adapted. You've been Americanized.
If you don't have something to shoot for, why go to a game?
Yeah, but it's different at home, though, isn't it? Because
you're supporters.
Champions League playoffs.
You got supporters there as well, too.
You got Europa League playoffs. You got. Yeah, no, I don't do playoffs.
So we have 6 teams in the Western Division.
Yeah.
Okay. 4 of us make the playoffs, which is brilliant for the Sidekicks.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we had an average season and we were sitting 4th in a table, or even 3rd, for example, in a table, we have no chance of winning anything. So I come to a game except for the entertainment value. But if we're sitting 5th or 4th and it's a playoff race, it's entertaining. That's the American way.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
So did you have a chance to play for Chelsea when you were younger?
No, never did. No. There was a.
How far did you get in the English game?
So really different stories between me and my brother. My brother was always in the academy. He played for Wimbledon.
Yeah.
From 6 years old all the way until he's YTS. Wimbledon. Yeah, the old Wimbledon. Yeah.
I used to
Crazy
have some contacts there. Yeah. That's where Vinnie Jones came from.
Vinnie Jones, yeah. Chelsea legend.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I never really had aspirations of being a pro football player. I just had fun with my mates.
Really?
That's all it really was, yeah. And I think I was 14 and I went to Brighton under Martin Hinshelwood over there. And at the time, who's the gaffer? I can't remember who the gaffer was, but I went into the youth team.
Gaffer means coach, everybody.
Sorry,
I'm got to translate here for you non-British speaking people.
Went into the youth team, and I played every position but goalkeeper. In my conversation with Martin Hinshelwood at the time, so you had your youth team, and then you had a YTS, which was a 2-year contract that you sign as a youth player in and around the first team. So you had meetings before that, and he came into me and he said, sorry, lad, you're not going to make the next cut. And I was sort of asked questions, why? And he just said, because you're a 6, 7, 8 out of 10 in every position. You're not a 10 out of 10. You don't excel in a position that's yours. You don't own a natural position. And I was like, okay. And at that moment in time, I was like, look, I cover all bases. I can play anywhere. I've got to get this YTS. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. And then I went back to my local team, which was Crawley Town, and signed the youth contract there, and had the pleasure to play with John Hollins, Chelsea legend, obviously recently just passed away, so RIP Gaffer. And then, I was a 15, 16-year-old boy playing first team football in the conference, which is men against boys. And had
conference is where Wrexham.
Conferences where Wrexham came from. Yeah. And then, I started to create a little bit of buzz about being a young lad in that league. Had a worst decision of my career was getting an agent. Messed up big time with that guy.
Never had an agent. My 19-year career, never had an agent.
Yeah, it was at that time where I was really getting some teams that were sort of showing interest.
And there's a need for them sometimes. Don't get me wrong.
For sure. And when you have conversations with your dad and people because I was a Crawley lad.
Yeah.
So I practically knew everybody that was coming to the games almost from one way or another, where I played school with them, or my dad played with them, or my uncles, or whatever. I was born in Crawley, so I was a Crawley lad. And, after the game, you're getting, hey, United, we're here today watching you play.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah.
United? Yeah, Tottenham. And I would never play for Tottenham, but Tottenham were here today. Chelsea, and then West Ham. And then I got the agent, and Charlton came in for me. Ian Dowie was the coach. And I went over there, met with Damien Matthews, who was the youth, under-18 coach. And it was in play that I was going to sign for Charlton. And then unfortunately, John Hollins got fired. My youth team coach came in and took the first team and basically cancelled the deal.
Yeah.
And then crazy enough, I didn't play
so often.
I didn't play a minute the rest of the season. Under a guy that brought me in, under a guy that I was like, this guy is now the gaffer. I'm gonna get a move, or I'm gonna play, and didn't play a minute.
Well,
for the
now
season.
you have a new gaffer.
New gaffer.
So,
new
Jamie,
ideas.
we could talk for hours, pal. This
sure.
this has been brilliant. So we'll have to do a part two next
coming
episode,
up.
stuff like that. But hey, man, coach a player.
Thank you, boss.
Looking forward to a
Yes, sir.
heck of a season, bud. Come out, watch the Sidekicks, watch Jamie Lovegrove score some goals, and do his
JL. That's the way. There you go.
I got it. I got it going on. So, hey, thanks for having us, guys. Have a great rest of your day. And December 9th, Dallas Sidekicks home opener at the Texas Credit Union Event Center.